Good morning, everybody. Tuesday morning, November 13th. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, and I hope you had a fantastic trading day yesterday, that is. I know I did, and I hope you had a great weekend as well. So we are testing out our new format this week of just Tuesdays and Thursdays, morning and afternoon, pre-market and post-market analysis. So as always, please do like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to be notified of when we're going live each morning and afternoon. Then be sure to click that little alarm bell icon, and then you will receive an email saying when I'm going live. And let's take a look at the charts, see what they are telling us this morning. So, yesterday was a really big day for me anyway. It was a great trading day for intraday trading. And, we did have zoom in here on the 60-minute chart. You can see it a little bit better. We had, a significant amount of movement yesterday. Definitely was a down day, no question about it. Down, 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 down sharply, and that is continuing what we've been talking about here. Is we're looking for a retracement, and we've been looking for a retracement. First level is to somewhere between the 38.2. Put it right here, the 38.2 and the 50%, right? Somewhere in this zone. And sure enough, we went right into the middle of it. And then now we're just kind of hanging out at the edge here. So which way is it going to go from here? That is the question. If we break down and can get past this 50% level to the downside, then I'm looking for somewhere between the 50 to the 61.8. And then that would be my preferred place to see a lower high be formed and then go on to set a higher high. And when we see that happen, then we know that the trend has reversed and a new uptrend has begun. Now, that being said, doesn't necessarily mean that is what's going to happen. We could, in fact, just break lower, head maybe to the 76.4 area or to test the top of this buy zone that's down below before bouncing off. And of course, we're watching for it to take out this low here. And if that happens, well, then what is actually going on is, zoom out, a continuation of this downtrend. So technically, this is a lower high than this, just barely. I mean, not by much. That little high there is just a smidge lower than this. So if we take out this low, then that's what we're looking for. I think there's a lot of distance to cover to be able to do that. Plus, our navigator is heading upwards. So I see bullish strength coming into this. I am personally looking for this to establish that higher low somewhere and then head higher. Whether that happens or not, we'll have to wait and see. Right this moment, anyway, after the big move down yesterday, which continued a bit more into the post-market, if you notice a couple things on the 60-minute, let me get rid of my pen here and move this so we can see it a little bit better. Whoops, zoom out. All right, on the 60-minute, okay, now from this top here, this was before the last couple of weeks we've had of just these this big down correction. We had a retracement on this move here to the 61.8 from down here, the 61.8, at which point an extension would have taken us down to the 161.8 to 200% range zone. And sure enough, that's exactly where it went. It then retraced, and we have an extension again to somewhere around the 161.8 and actually went basically right to it yesterday. Went right to the 161.8 extension before bouncing off. And now we've got the navigator wanting to trend upwards. So I am looking for this level. Personally, I'm looking for that level to hold. If it doesn't, then as I mentioned, then I'm looking for a test somewhere down in this area here. Again, hopefully gunning for the 61.8. That is kind of the sweet spot for that higher low to form. So in the ES, that's what I am looking at. Those are the levels I'm watching for intraday at least. And on a longer term, then again, we're just looking for this low or to get up here and break these highs here. Let's take a look at crude oil. And crude is just continuing to break down and move further down to its buy zone down here. it's working on getting down there, but we've got 3 trading days now of magenta navigator histograms. So this trend is getting really, really tired. It is really, really exhausted at this point, and probably doesn't have a whole lot of steam left in it to the downside. It might be able to get, I'm guessing, maybe to test the top of this buy zone here, something like that. We might be able to see that. That's if it's not already done. If this is already the low, then obviously we can look for uh, a higher move from here. Now, clearly, a downtrend is in place, so it's got a significant climb ahead of it. In order to establish that this downtrend has turned, it's going to have to hop over this former buy zone, which is now a sell zone, and of course above this descending trend line, above this descending trend line, above the moving average. It's got a lot overhead to have to climb through. But at the moment, anyway, I'm seeing downside momentum is unlikely to continue. So that's what I'd be watching for, is some signs, some bullish signs, specifically maybe on the 60-minute. Watch for a close above the box. Now, notice also the navigator. We do have a divergence. We have the price is making lower lows, but the navigator is making higher lows, and it actually did cross the 0 line in between, which makes this a proper actual divergence. So we're definitely seeing some bullishness developing here. We also had some magenta 60-minute histograms here on this low. So price is at the moment wanting to stall and possibly want to move higher. So what we need to see to have our first signs of bullishness is we got to get over this high here. Got to take out that level, and then at that point it's got to climb this level here. It's got to climb, retrace all of that, and it's got to get above this. If crude can do that, then we are well on our way towards establishing a new uptrend, and then we can look for a break, hopefully a test or break if you're a bull anyway, hopefully of this level here, of this sell zone that is overhead. So that's what I see in crude. Gold is kind of stuck right at the bottom of that channel. It has definitely been oscillating around above and below it, but right now it's just right below that channel. Now, Navigator is trying to head down, trying to cross that 0 line and head lower. So far, it hasn't quite done it on a daily basis. Of course, on a 60-minute basis, it's already been red for quite some time. But notice now we have lower lows forming on price, but we have a higher low forming on the navigator. So we have a slightly divergent navigator. This isn't a textbook perfect divergence because we have not actually crossed the 0 line and come back, but it is what I say divergent. It is just suggesting that right now price wants to head lower, but the strength of the trend is growing, is building to the upside. So underneath the price, behind the scenes anyway, there is a little bit of bullish momentum starting to build in this. It's nothing I would get overly excited about quite yet, but I might be keeping an eye open for some possible bullish indications like a break or rather a close above the box, something like that to suggest that maybe we're at the beginnings of a move to the upside. And of course, since we've been making this pattern of lower lows and lower highs, we need to take out the most recent lower high. So those are the things I'm looking for, is a close above the box that probably also the same close very likely would take out that lower high as well. So to establish some bullish direction, that's what we got to see. Bearish, of course, is going to be take out that low and continue lower. So that happens, then the likelihood of some follow through to the downside is pretty good. Of course, to the downside, we've got some support, minor support level, a couple of them down below. And below that, not a whole heck of a lot. So gold tends to get bought up anytime it gets below about 1,200 or so. I'm expecting to see the buyers come in. But if by chance they don't, then watch out for a test of these levels here. If that doesn't hold, then decent chance of a move lower, at least to test this minor support level down here. All right, let's take a look at crypto. And crypto is just kind of grinding lower in the short term. Daily chart, daily basis, it's still just sort of going nowhere. It's still just kind of trapped in this channel. And as it has been for quite some time, it's just heading towards the squeeze point of this wedge here. And it's not really establishing any trend, direction, anything like that. It's just kind of aimless. Now, on an intraday basis, there are definitely some swings to be had. So, if you're an intraday trader, there is certainly opportunity. And we have some divergent action going on here. We have technically, we do have a divergence here. We have a series of higher lows being formed in the navigator. And we did, in fact, cross the zero line in between these two. So that is a bullish sign, lower price, higher navigator. But it just it doesn't seem to ever really get any big follow through when this kind of thing shapes up. So yeah, sure, maybe we don't take out this low and maybe we finally break higher. But unless we can take out that high, then even in the short term, we're not really going anywhere. And frankly, it's got a lot higher to go than that to establish much of a change. It's just been really kind of aimless, bouncing around and just kind of going nowhere. So that's been the story with crypto for a while. It continues to be the story with crypto until we see some kind of a real serious trend set itself in motion. We just have this kind of aimless sideways action. Seems to me like the market is kind of waiting for something, but what that is, I don't know exactly. We'll have to wait and see. So natural gas, let's take a look at that. Natural gas has been very, very strong. Although, interestingly, just in this hour, it has given back a fair amount. It's coming right to the 21 EMA right now. So it is maybe trying to do a little bit of a short-term reversal here. We do have the makings of a daily doji. I don't expect this will stay that way for long, given that the U.S. market hasn't even opened yet. I anticipate that this candle will not look like this in a couple of hours. But notice that we shot above the sell zone and came right back down into it. In fact, where we came to, we touched this blue area here is actually a gap from way back at the very end of the year, right around New Year's 2017. So this is a very old gap that was never able to be filled, and right now, anyway, that gap appears to have acted as resistance, and nat gas has just shot back down into this sell zone. So uh, natural gas has moved very far, very quickly. This has been a very sharp move, and I want to show you something that is just another tool that I use that I like to look at, which is a way to measure volatility. Okay, this is ATR channels or average true range channels. The yellow line is the 21 EMA. So this is a weekly chart I'm looking at. So this is a very long term chart. Okay, this is a weekly chart. This is a 21 week moving average. And then each one of these lines is one standard range out. So the normal range, and in fact, you can see it illustrated here, is to stay within one ATR, right? That's normal. And then when it gets to two ATR, okay, that's double normal, and three is triple normal, and four is quadruple the normal amount of movement in a given period. So right now, on a weekly basis, nat gas has actually shot well through the 4 ATR, which is as much as I have plotted on this indicator. It almost looks to me like it probably would have gotten to the 5 ATR, maybe even a little bit beyond that. And that is a crazy, crazy, huge move. That is some outrageous volatility. And what I want to show you is what happened the last time natural gas got anywhere near this kind of level. Okay, it's back here. It got to the +4 weekly ATR, and the date on this, we're talking about back in 2014, February, basically March, February 28th, March of 2014. So natural gas has not done a move like this in a very long time. But look what happened right after it got up there to the +4 ATR. If I actually zoom in on that, you can see after that, it very quickly wanted to snap back to the norm, right? Back to that EMA. Now, admittedly, this is a weekly chart, so quick is relative, right? This is still quite a few months that it took to get down there. But the point is, these kinds of extremes, they just don't hold. This is the type of extreme level that you really don't want to chase. You probably want to be looking to for an opportunity to get short when you see something like this. It doesn't just mean instantly jump short, because can it go even more extreme? Yeah, absolutely. You bet it can. But start watching. Start watching for signs to the downside. Look for possibly closes of the box, below the box rather, below an intraday box. Start watching for a close below an EMA. Start looking for a divergent navigator, which we do have here. We have price on the 60-minute has made higher highs, considerably higher highs, in fact, and navigator has made lower highs. So again, as I've mentioned before, it's not technically a proper divergence because it did not cross the zero line in between, but it is certainly divergent. It is indicating that the trend strength, although price keeps going up, is losing momentum. So I would just be getting ready to think about going short. This is not a blind short signal, but it's certainly suggestive that you want to be looking to get ready to go that way, especially if we actually do form a doji candle by the end of this daily trading session on a big move up like this, right into a doji, right at a sell zone. Very, very suggestive of downside being the direction you're going to want to head next. So just keep an eye on that. Watch carefully for what happens. Watch to see if natural gas goes higher and takes out this level here, which is also the top of the box. Then clearly it's going to continue to push a little higher. And on the other hand, if it closes below this 21 EMA, watch for a test of this buy zone. If this buy zone fails, then kind of the last line of defense is going to be the bottom of the box right now, which is at this level, although a new box could come out. And you see a close below the box, then it really suggests that a portion of this huge move up, and actually even further from back here, really needs to get retraced. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in the natural gas market. All right, that is it for me. Thanks everybody for your input and feedback on these videos. We really do appreciate it. We'd love to hear more. If there's anything else you'd like to see us do, any other analysis you'd like, if this has been helpful in your trading, I know these videos have definitely been helpful to me. They help me to get clarity on what direction things are, which side of the market I want to be on, and they have certainly helped and improved my trading by just forcing me to really remain accountable to what I see. So I'm doing this for you, but it helps me as well. So let me know what else I can do to help you. Let us know what we can do to assist in your trading. As always, subscribe, like, comment, give us some feedback, and we would love to hear it. So until this afternoon at 1 p.m., I'll be back for the closing bell post-market analysis. Hope you have a great trading day. You're very welcome, William. Glad you liked the natural gas analysis. Glad natural gas is treating you well. Keep at it. Good luck to you all. Good trading, everybody. Bye-bye.